Okay, we're at Aftershock, day one. Fucking Jeris Johnson.
Hello, hello.
You know, one thing that was cool, I started like kind of diving into the bands that we were going to interview out here. And you know where I kept seeing your name pop up, which is pretty cool nowadays, is Rockfeed.
Rockfeed is the fucking homie, the goat, Brian.
Yeah, dude.
Bro is on a different level for
I
sure.
know. I kind of like go look at his stuff all the time because we're kind of doing the same kind of stuff-ish. But I just thought that was cool. I'm like, damn.
He's awesome. He's been an ally of mine for a while. He was early on me, like 3 years ago or something is when I first met him.
Really?
Yeah, and he was always just like so stoked, so supportive, like just understood me, understood what I wanted to do. Like he's just one of the most genuine dudes, like in the scene, if you will. He's awesome.
Really?
And
Yeah.
he works hard. He works so hard. He works harder than anybody I've ever seen. Like that dude is on it. It's his whole life, you know, and he wants it. You
I
know?
hear that about him all the time. I have yet to meet him. I'm going to have to meet him one day. But
You should. He's a great guy. Good hang.
one of the things I like about you the most, because I'm this way myself, sort of, is musically, or at least my taste in music, is how eclectic. You're everywhere, dude.
Yeah.
You had me, I think, tap dancing at one point.
Yep.
You had some dudes mosh pitting at one
Have to.
point.
Yeah.
So, like, where do you draw all your influence? Is that
God.
because of
I
your,
mean,
what you listen to, or
yes.
is that just how
I
you
think like the best part about being an artist and being a musician in general is that you have the opportunity to create like your perfect genre of music. You know, it's like I like a lot of different things.
That's cool.
I obviously enjoy hip hop. I enjoy metal. I enjoy weird shit. I enjoy so many different things that like what I want to do is make something that doesn't exist because that's what I want to hear. So that's the beauty of being an artist. You get to create art that only you can create. And that's what I think we need more of. You know, I want to see more bands and more artists putting themselves out there and pushing further than just trying to pay the bills or just trying to stay afloat and just, you know, add something to the conversation because that's what we're supposed to do. That's the gift that we can give fans and people is by adding to the conversation, by making something that only you can make. That's your gift, you know? You don't need to make what this other band makes because they already made it, you know?
Yeah.
So that's the way I like to look at it, and that's why people have used the word eclectic to describe my music at times is because, it is, because it's a collection of what I like, and I try to put it together, obviously, in the best way that I can, the most cohesive package I can.
Well, it seems to be working. I mean, what we saw out there today, you had that place, you had that little spot, and in the early hours of Aftershock.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect. Like, you know, the 12:45 on a Thursday, you know, set. Like, I didn't know what to expect, but it blew my expectation out of the water. I mean, it was people as far as I could fucking see out there, and I was like, wow, it was great, and it felt really good.
Well, really one of the questions, we were kind of going around doing some crowd, asking the crowd questions, and one of the questions was, who are you most excited to see today other than the headliners? We wanted to know, you know, where other bands were at on people's radars, and your name popped up
we
a
know
lot.
We know you want to see Slipknot. We fucking get it. Yeah.
But yeah, your name was on there a lot, so that's badass. And
good to hear. Love to hear it. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like I'm just now really getting started. Obviously, if you've known me for a while, you know, I've really been kind of in this world for 3 years now, maybe. So I'm still very new, obviously.
Yeah, you're making headway quick.
Yeah, and I'm trying.
That's cool, man.
I'm trying, but I also do feel like, you know, a lot of people was like, oh, you know, Jeris isn't really like a rock and metal artist, and it's kind of fair. Like when I was very first starting, I definitely was like not fully, you know, a rock and metal artist. And with this album with Dragonborn, like I wanted to leave no doubt, you know.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be like, no, this is who I am, and this is what I want to do, and so I think so. Sometimes I kind of feel like I'm really just like a year into, because a year ago I dropped When the Darkness Comes, which was really like my first genuine, like, all right, I'm making fucking metal now, like that's what this is, and it's my biggest song. So it was a great way to start it, obviously, and to start the new era and to kind of make the shift.
Do you feel like metal's? It's kind of weird because there's so much cross-pollination nowadays in music. It seems like more so than in the past.
There is
country, rock, and then metal, hip hop. Like there's all these. So, but I feel like metal's kind of reemerged as well.
Yeah.
And like a lot of that 90s feel stuff has kind of reemerged. Is that how you? I don't know why I'm going here with this, but
I mean, I think
do you feel
everything.
like that's happening?
Yeah, everything. Everything's cyclical, and obviously, like, let's say somebody my age, like in their 20s, is like, obviously, my influences are going to be different than the bands that have dudes that are in their like 30s and 40s, and like.
Yeah.
So usually people are influenced by what they grew up listening to, and then what they like now, and it's usually a combination of those things. So if like a 40-year-old dude grew up with, these bands over here, like I grew up with bands that were in the 2000s, and so like that's going to be the things that got me into music in the first place, was those bands and everything. So yeah, I think it's all cyclical, every sort of generation of new artists or whatever is always going to pull from generally the same pool within a genre of music.
Yeah.
And
I
think you're
did
just
Seal.
seeing that. Yes, did
So
Seal.
I have to ask, did you write Seal just for the ladies? Because I'm pretty straight, and I was like, God damn.
I did think about it. I won't lie. I thought girls are probably going to like this. And I honestly was just listening. I knew I wanted to do one cover on the album because a lot of like my early stuff was like the reloadeds and the remixes and covers, quote unquote. But I had never done a pure like one-to-one cover, before.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was just listening to songs one day, and Kiss from Rose just came on my Spotify, and I was like, God damn, this is just like the best song that's ever been written. It's so good.
Seriously, dude.
And it had like some of the like, it had like a little flute and had a very like, it was very like medieval and kind of it was just like, it just clicked. I was like,
Dude, it
oh
makes me want to
shit.
take a bath with candles. I think.
In a snowy castle, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it
rock
just
tub.
It was just a new. It was just like a no-brainer, It just, when I heard it, I was like, yep, that's it, that's the one. And somebody needs to do like a metal version of it, and so I was like, fuck it, I'll do it.
Well, I'm glad I live what
yeah.
I do, so I got to experience
Yeah,
it.
it's turned out great. And Seal gave me his blessing. We sent it to Seal. He loved it.
Oh, no
That
kidding.
was awesome. Yep, it was great.
So you didn't have to just like. I guess I don't know.
Well,
I really don't know
technically,
the
it's a
process,
cover.
but-
It's a cover, so because it's a one-to-one cover, I wouldn't have even. You don't have to get permission. Like it just goes straight on Spotify because it's a cover, and then Seal just makes a bunch of money from it, or whatever.
Oh, I see.
So anytime you're
But
doing
you
a cover,
actually got the actual blessing along with it.
the reloadeds and
That's
stuff that
amazing.
I've done in the past, I got to get permission because those are more like samples and interpolations, and I'm changing
Oh.
lyrics and I'm messing with it all. But because of Kiss 'Em Rose,
okay.
I just sang Kiss 'Em Rose the way Seal did, but just with
with
my
the-
own instrumental, basically. You
Yeah.
know.
That's so badass.
Yeah, so no permission needed, but we did send it to him, and he
What did
loved
he say?
it.
Did he give you any feedback?
He said, "This is fucking amazing."
Hell yeah.
He said it brings tears to my eyes.
no,
is what
he
he
didn't.
said. That
really?
is what he said.
That is amazing. Did you tell him that you were available for a hug if necessary?
I would
can
like to
put
hang out
prayer.
with him. I would like to hang out with him for sure.
That would be
He'd be an
cool.
interesting guy to hang out with. It would be a crazy picture, obviously. Me with my sword and Seal.
Yeah. Did you have
but-
a sword today? Did I miss
Yeah,
a sword?
yeah. I have the sword on stage, but
Oh, shit.
it's packed up. I got a new one. I got a new sword, a custom sword, and
Oh,
usually I'd
shit.
be walking around with it and stuff, but like I'm kind of scared.
Are you
I
friends
don't.
with Swaco?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yes.
You
Yeah.
guys should be best friends.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know why I do this, but I feel like I'm like
Yeah,
a
we're
rock
good
and roll
friends.
matchmaker.
We're good friends.
That's a self-proclaimed thing, really? Because
We may or may not have a couple songs that we've made together that may or may not come out at some point.
No
We'll see.
shit.
But
Oh yes.
yeah, he's a good guy.
That's awesome. He
guy.
was here last year and chainmail
Yes.
in the mosh pit.
Yes, we both.
But I feel
we
like-
both fuck with some of the same aesthetics for sure.
Oh yes, which I dig because like me and this is my cousin back here. Then the other host.
Hey, cousin.
That's Jake. Hi Jake. My other cousin is not here, but he's the other host. But we're like, we nerd out on the fucking Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah.
And so
Speaking my
could,
language.
Yeah, I could hang out and talk about that stuff. That could be. Maybe we'll just have to get your information and do like a fucking
whole
Lord of the
podcast,
Rings
yeah.
episode or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Because we could do that for
Wouldn't
days.
hate it. Wouldn't hate it.
I would not hate that. Anything you want to talk about that's coming up or any
Headline tour?
I hate the like, what are you doing next stuff, but I want to know what
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
excited about.
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
coming
I'm
up.
excited for this headline tour. This was technically the first day of the tour. Tomorrow we're in Fresno, which is the first actual show on the headline run. My first headline run ever.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
Fingers crossed it goes well. People show up, please. Holy shit.
They will. I have
Don't
no
let me
doubt.
play to empty rooms out there.
No, hell no.
No, it'll be great. It'll be great. And yeah, I'm just excited to get out there in front of like my, true fans.
Yeah, your
a room
fan.
full of my fans for the first time, and like just celebrate all this music that means a lot to me. Hopefully, means a lot to other people, and it's just gonna be awesome. It's gonna be exciting. I'm super stoked. It's consuming all of my mental energy right now. Of course, I always want to be like working on new music and thinking about new stuff, but this album meant a lot to me. It was a big undertaking. I wanted to put it out and really give it the love and attention it deserves, and let
I'm a big proponent of that.
let it have its moment. So
Yeah, and I think the fans appreciate that too.
Yeah.
Anytime I've ever had like a band or an album that I'm in love with,
you just
I
go
wanna
drop a
see-
new song a month after you just dropped your album. It kind of just means maybe you didn't really like the album that much. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
So,
No.
yeah, I wanted to give it the love and attention that I feel like it deserves. So I'm gonna do this tour. Maybe we'll do a Dragonborn tour part 2 if this goes really well. I don't know. We'll see.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, man, just gonna keep busy, keep fucking grinding, keep trying to be on an upwards trajectory.
I love it. I'm excited to see what's next because, like I said, I'm eclectic in my taste. I mean, you
Yep.
pretty much hit on everything I
Nice.
like, so I love it.
Love to hear it.
Are you taking off, or are you?
I'll be around. I'll be around a little bit.
You got
for
some
the-
bands you want to see play?
Yeah,
or?
maybe I'll probably check out Pantera, maybe
Shit, yeah, hell
something
yeah.
like that a little later. So we'll see. Yeah,
All right,
I'll be
man.
around.
Well, we super appreciate you coming on,
Yeah, thank you, bro.
talking with us.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
man.